There are moments in history when a single voice rises not as an echo but as a thunder that shakes the conscience of humanity. A voice that cuts through hatred like sunlight through a storm. A voice that refuses to whisper when the world trembles in fear. This was the voice of Martin Luther King Jr. today. As you listen to these words, remember this: the world does not change when ordinary people do ordinary things. The world changes when ordinary people dare to do the extraordinary, even when they stand alone. In the heart of America, at a time when division walked proudly in daylight and cruelty hid behind broken laws, a young preacher stepped forward. He did not come with weapons. He did not come with armies. He came with a dream fragile like paper, yet powerful enough to shatter centuries of injustice. Faith is taking the first step, he said, even when you don't see the whole staircase. And step by step, he climbed a staircase the world said did not exist. Imagine the nights he spent awake. The fear, the threats, the shadow outside his window, the phone calls that told him he would never live long enough to see morning. Yet his reply was always the same. If I cannot do great things, I can do small things in a great way. These words were not spoken from comfort, they were carved from pain, shaped by courage, and delivered by a man who refused to let darkness steal the future. Martin Luther King Jr. believed something unimaginable for his time: that love, even wounded love, could defeat hate. That peace, even fragile peace, could silence violence. That unity, even if just a spark, could become a sunrise strong enough to light the world. He once said, "Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that." These words were not poetry. They were a revolution. He led marches where every step felt like a heartbeat of hope. He stood on streets where hatred burned like wildfire. But he kept walking. He kept preaching. He kept dreaming. And the world watched a simple truth unfold. When one man stands fearlessly for justice, millions learn how to stand with him. Picture the moment on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial. Hundreds of thousands gathered, the air electric with expectation. The world watching. And then Martin Luther King Jr. stepped forward, not as a politician, not as a celebrity, not as a man seeking fame, but as a messenger of destiny. "I have a dream," he began. Simple words, but spoken with a power that rewrote the soul of a nation. He dreamed of children holding hands without fear. He dreamed of a world where character mattered more than skin color. He dreamed of justice rolling down like water and righteousness like a mighty stream. And here's the truth: dreams are not born to impress. Dreams are born to ignite, to challenge, to provoke. His dream was not just a speech, it was a blueprint for courage. But courage always has a cost. There were days when Martin felt the weight of the world pressing on his shoulders. Days when he cried behind closed doors. Days when betrayal cut deeper than bullets. Days when even hope seemed tired. Yet still, he stood. Still, he spoke. Still, he believed that tomorrow could be better than today. He reminded us that time is always right to do what is right. And because he believed it, he lived it. Imagine for a moment the quiet battles he fought, sitting alone with doubt, praying for strength, waiting for a sign. Greatness is never glamorous up close. It is lonely. It is painful. But Martin knew something every dreamer must learn. If you can't fly, run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. But by all means, keep moving. And he moved through broken streets, through screaming crowds, through hatred, through fear, through nights that felt like forever. And because he moved, the world moved with him. Martin Luther King Jr. taught humanity an eternal lesson that the future does not belong to the powerful. It belongs to the courageous. That change does not begin with army, begins with voices, and that freedom is not given by those who hold power. It is taken by those who hold truth. His message was more than words. It was a mirror that reflected the best of what we could be and the worst of what we must overcome. He reminded us that mountains are moved not by force, but by faith. That justice is won not by dominance, but by dignity. That dreams are realized not by miracles, but by perseverance. People tried to silence him. They tried to break him. They tried to frighten him into obedience. But he answered them with a smile, a prayer, and a dream. And dreams, real dreams, never die. Even when his life was taken, his voice rose louder than ever. Even when his journey ended, his message became immortal. Even when hatred struck him down, hope stood up. Because hope is stronger than fear. Dreams are stronger than violence. And truth, no matter how many times it is buried, always rises again. Martin Luther King Jr. did not change the world alone. He changed the world by showing us that we could change it. He showed us that silence is dangerous, but courage is contagious. That a single voice, when spoken with conviction, becomes an army. And now the question is no longer about Martin's dream. It is about yours. What dream are you carrying? What mountain stands in your way? What fear holds you back? Remember this: every great story begins with someone who refuses to quit. Someone who chooses courage over comfort. Someone who is willing to walk alone until others realize the path is worth following. Your voice matters. Your dream matters. Your purpose matters. The world may doubt you. People may laugh at you. Failure may knock you down again and again. But as Martin said, we must accept finite disappointment, but never lose infinite hope. Hope, that is your power. Determination, that is your weapon. Action, that is your path. So rise, speak, believe. Dream so boldly that the world feels your heartbeat. Chase your purpose so fiercely that doubt trembles before you. Build a life so meaningful that even the impossible bows to your persistence. Martin Luther King Jr. showed us the blueprint. Now the world waits to see what you will build. And as you walk forward step by step, breath by breath, remember his immortal reminder. Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? Will your story inspire courage? Will your journey ignite? Will your dream change lives? You already carry the spark. Now set the world on fire with purpose, with passion, with belief. And if this message touched your heart, if it awakened something inside you, then support dreams, support courage, support voices that refuse to stay silent. Like this video, share this message. Let the world hear it.